Good morning, loves. We are live from the couch for our vlog. Y'all, I overdid my eyebrows this morning, but I can't get the pen off without wasting product. So we're gonna have some real aggressive eyebrows this week, and I don't got my tripod. So y'all, let me tell you something. Life is life is a life, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. It's just um I actually am at work, which is why I have my snuggie here. Because in the room, it is really cold because my partner has the air on because he needs it to sleep. If I put this right here, but then lean back, can I just sit? I gotta. No, okay, I gotta hold y'all. It's okay because we're not even gonna be here long. So I don't know. I might just change our angle. Hold on, y'all, and prop y'all up. Okay. We just gonna hang, okay? It's like you sitting on the couch with me, cause I don't want to hold that shit, and I'm not gonna re-record, y'all. It's just so much going on that this is really my time slot to get my vlog, and I feel like I see my vlog as like I said, like it's just an audio journal, right? Like even if nobody's watching this but me a few years from now, or just like people trying to get to know me, I just really want this to serve as like my therapy outside of therapy. So I do once a month with a therapist because truthfully, I don't have the insurance or the income to be going to a therapist more than once a month. I don't know if people do that more than once a month. When I was in a really crazy space mentally, I was seeing my therapist I think every 2 weeks, and they took money out of every check that I had. Um, but now I'm kind of paying out of pocket, and so once a month, sometimes not even that much, is what we do. And I sometimes just need something that really a professional can't really provide. I just need a space, not even a non-professional can provide. Like I just need a space to express myself and to get my thoughts out of my head, and that is what this is. For those of you who are new here. But anyways, this week, because we've been doing words of the week, which I really love, and I think I'm gonna keep going with. This word of the week. Let me see. Does this put us a little closer to eye level? It does. If I have something to lean this on. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so distracted. I like a good angle. Okay, that's cool. We're like looking at each other. Okay. Anyways, my word of the week this week is discernment, and discernment comes in my mind, in my heart, from picking my battles. And this, like I said, is going to be a really quick week because I'm really just realizing that, like, not just myself, but most women that I know, most women that I've come in contact with. So I'm going to say most women, not most women in the world, because I don't know most women, but most women that I have come in contact with care a lot. And I care a lot. And I'm starting to realize that actually my life can be more peaceful if I just cared a little less. And not from this place of like F everything and, don't show up or don't provide services or any of that. Just from this place of like, if nobody is saying that they are offended, I don't need to be standing up for people who are not speaking up for themselves. I also don't need to speak up for anybody who hasn't communicated with me that they have an issue. I also don't need to put myself in environments that I didn't want to be in the first place. Now, I've said all of those things loosely, and now I'm going to take you back through the specific situations in our household, which will help you get caught up logistically on the house that has brought me to this point. So, the first point is like standing up for people who did not say that there's anything wrong with it. And this kind of brings us to the most recent event that occurred in the house. So, as you guys know, like I've said in other vlogs, the teen, my oldest stepson, is with my mother-in-law because my mother-in-law moved back into my husband's childhood home, or my fiance, I'll say, his childhood home. And there's a lot of renovations that had to get done. My father-in-law was living in that house, and it was not up to par. And so my mother-in-law moved back in this most recent summer because my brother-in-law moved downstairs where she was, and they all couldn't exist, so her and my father-in-law went ahead and moved back to the house that they own out in the city. And the teen has been helping them with the renovations. So he's been there helping his grandparents, as well as essentially giving him and his dad a break from each other, because teenagers and their parents, go through it. Our regularly scheduled program is to have the youngest on the weekends or any days that he doesn't have summer camp. And when the youngest is here now, usually the room that I'm sitting in right now, as we talked about, would be his room. This couch that I'm sitting on is a futon. It lays down to his bed, etc. The teen's room is right here, which used to be our room. And now he exists in that room. The baby sometimes goes into the teen's room. And this weekend, the baby was in there. And all I said to him was, I think it would be better if you ate in here, because I sweep this room every day and people spill things, especially if you're 9 years old. And I know sometimes it's a little hot, you know what I mean? Or there's no TV. There's TV in here, but the game is in there. But you eat food for 5 minutes. Eat the food in the room, away from the bed, away from somebody else's space, and then go back into the room. That was my thought process. I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's equitable. I've never been an older sibling, but I know I've seen and watched and listened to my siblings yell and scream at each other about their space. I grew up feeling a way about people touching my space, because I don't think anybody should have their shit touched. For dinner, so breakfast, the little one ate right here. He ate, finished eating, wiped down the table, went back to what's the name. Everything was great. Dinner comes around. He's about to do the same thing, because there's nothing wrong with that. Right in front of me and him, my fiance goes, no, you can go into the other room, because why would he go in there? He can't eat. First of all, he can't watch TV. First of all, if that was the feedback that you wanted to give me, you absolutely should have gave that to me individually, not in front of a child. Second of all, I don't know. It felt unfair to his other child. It felt like favoritism. And individually and personally, I felt like I was being undermined, which is hard, because you want me to watch your kids without you, and I can't. If I tell them something and right in front of them, you tell them, actually, no, don't do what she said. So after that situation, I really did just sit with myself, and I asked myself, what do I want to be true about my life? And I was just like, honestly, I don't want to fight that battle. It's not a battle that I want to fight, for 2 reasons. The first reason is I've never wanted to fight that battle. I was asked to be put into that position, and every time I tried to do what's asked of me, which is step up more, be more vocal, I'm pushed to the side, or at least it feels that way. I don't even want to have the conversation about that anymore, because it's not necessary. I don't even want to step up. I don't want to speak up. Even in my job, I say the same thing. The people in my job are like, do you want to do more? Nope. I'm a very simple woman. I like to do whatever it is that I'm doing until I'm not doing it no more. And the reason I'm not doing it no more is because I'm doing something better, and because I've mastered that. So I'm a very simple woman. And I realized, this is not a battle I want to fight. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to make sure that I am loving on every child that comes my way, but specifically, this baby that doesn't have his mother in this world. And that's it. I don't need to address that. I don't need to say, I feel like every person that has seen my partner with both of his sons have said the same thing. I don't know why you think you have to be so rough on your 14-year-old. I guess because in your mind you feel like the world is going to be hard on him because he doesn't have a mother. Or is it just because he's a black boy? I don't know. Is it because of how you were? I don't know. And I just feel like that level of processing should come from a therapist. And he's not seeking therapy. So why should I put myself in that position? I'm not. Moving forward, I'm just not going to tell either of them to do anything that I haven't run by him, which is what I should be doing anyways, because those are his kids. I shouldn't have said, hey, I'm going to tell baby son to eat into the living room. I know that, and I could have identified what I said to him. I know that he's not going to be able to watch TV. He usually able to watch it on his phone for a few minutes. It's only a few minutes. I would just feel like it's more fair to the older son if that's what we did, and see how he feel about it. That's another thing that I got to take responsibility for. I took initiative where maybe I shouldn't have taken initiative. One of the things that I tell my life coaching clients is a lot of times people say things because they sound nice in theory, but in action and in real time, those are not things that they mean, and they're not things that they can continue to mean and stand behind. I believe in theory it sounds good for my partner to tell me take initiative, speak up more, and be more vocal in my household. I think when it comes to in practice, though, he is going to do what he wants to do. And whether I see it as him favoring his youngest, or I see it as him just, being logical, however I see it, the situation doesn't change based on how I see it. And that is why the word of this week is discernment. Because I have so many other battles in life. I have so many other battles in this relationship to fight. I don't want to fight this one. When I first met this man, I said that I was not interested in playing an overtly active mother role. And this is why. Because when people invite you to play those types of roles and you do that, and then they don't agree with you, they can override you anyways. And it's like, actually, I don't want to fight that battle. I've seen biological mothers fight that battle, where it's like, your dad said no to this, I say yes to this, but you're still going to ride with your dad and make me look like an idiot. Back to my point of this week, we as women should care less. And so, as I wrap us up, because I wanted to keep us under 15 minutes, because like I said, it's really cut and dry for me this week. The co-parenting battle was not one that I want to fight. So I'm not. And I am going to care less about the things that my brain assumes that people are thinking, feeling, and being, and allow people to speak up. And I know that it's difficult for a 15-year-old to say, hey, I kind of feel like I'm being unfairly treated. And so I will never take that away. But I do know from observation that I've said it. 2 other family members have said it. His mother has said it. However it needs to be addressed, it has to be now between him and whatever processing he does in his mind and heart to hear the things that people are saying. Other than that, I'm going to love on both of them babies because I love them both. I love them both. My want to protect the oldest does not take away from the love that I've built with the youngest. And I don't think that he's attempting to mistreat anyone. But I do know that I never want to feel the way I felt in that kitchen when he did what he did right in front of his son ever again. And because of that, I am going to start picking my battles intentionally. I love you guys, and I am actually at work, so I'm about to get to work. And we have nothing else to talk about. So I will see you next week for our weekly vlog and I call it like our weekly check-in. But I'm going to start actually traditionally vlogging and showing y'all what I do. I don't do shit but sit in this house and crochet. So that's the reason why right now the weekly check-in is just me taking a break from crocheting and talking to you. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a great week.